It was supposed to be a quick 8-day mission, but turned into a grueling 9-month ordeal in space. NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore have been stranded aboard the International Space Station since June 2024, after their Boeing Starliner spacecraft suffered critical malfunctions. Now, NASA is executing a high-risk rescue mission to finally bring them back to Earth. So what went wrong? How are they surviving in space, and what happens when they finally return?
Go for B1.
Verify HB storage mass.
On June 5, 2024, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore embarked on a historic test mission aboard Boeing Starliner, a crucial step in NASA's plan to develop an alternative to Spacex Crew Dragon.
Good, please, the 10-meter hold.
Now less than 3 meters away.
But within days of docking at the ISS, everything changed. The Starliner capsule developed gas leaks and thruster failures, making it too dangerous to return to Earth.
Obviously, when you have an issues like we've had, there's some changes that need to be made. Boeing's on board with that. We're all on board with that. And I can tell you, when you push the edge of the envelope again and you do things with spacecraft that have never been done before, just like Starliner, you're going to find some things. And in this case, we found some things that we just could not get comfortable with, putting us back in the Starliner.
And just like that, what was supposed to be a brief stay turned into an indefinite exile in space. For over 250 days, Williams and Wilmore have been adapting to the harsh realities of prolonged spaceflight. Life in space comes with severe physical and mental toll. Bone density loss up to 2% per month. Muscle atrophy, weakened lower body muscles. Radiation exposure that's equivalent to thousands of X-rays. And psychological strain due to isolation, stress and fatigue.
Exercise is such a big component of any crew day on all the missions that we fly, because as soon as you enter that weightlessness environment, your body starts being responsive to that, and those the calcium loss and the strength loss and the loss in the ability to work.
To combat this, Williams and Wilmore have been on a rigorous fitness routine, working out for 2.5 hours every day to keep their bodies functional for their eventual return.
We kind of view exercise as a great big pill that we have the crew take to counteract all these adaptations.
But it's not just their bodies at risk. Radiation exposure remains a silent threat, with prolonged exposure increasing the risk of cancer and DNA damage.
We monitor this very closely, and we have the crew will wear basically a radiation dosimeter throughout each mission, and so we'll be able to understand more clearly the amount of radiation that they received. And we have some fairly defined and strict levels for the crew. We don't ever want them to get substantial amounts of radiation such that it substantially increases risks of concerning things like development of cancer.
Christmas is Christ.
9 months in
Hallelujah.
space also means missing out on life on Earth. Williams and Wilmore spent Thanksgiving, Christmas and New Year's away from their families, celebrating instead with their ISS crew.
Merry Christmas! Welcome to the International Space Station as we get ready for the Christmas holidays. It's a great time of year up here. We get to spend it with all of our family up on the International Space Station. There's 7 of us up here, and so we're going to get to enjoy company together.
But holidays in orbit aren't the same as home. Family milestones were missed.
We had crew on orbit when their wives have had children or they've had family members pass away, and so there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that there's ways that we can touch base with them and see how they're processing all that, and as well as the stress of all the work and the mission.
Now, finally, the countdown to Earth has begun. NASA has confirmed that Williams and Wilmore will return to Earth aboard SpaceX's Crew Dragon Freedom. Their journey home begins on March 16, 2025, when Crew Dragon will undock from the ISS and re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Unlike the Starliner, Crew Dragon is a proven and reliable spacecraft, ensuring a safe journey home. NASA will closely monitor re-entry as their bodies struggle to readjust to gravity after nearly a year in space.
They have to readapt to being back on the ground. And so that involves, there'll be a landing recovery team. The medical team is part of that. And so we'll go out to the landing site and help get the crew off the vehicle and bring them back here to Houston. And then once they're back here, there's basically a 45-day period of fairly intensive reconditioning.
And you can't help but want to just come.
When they land, a specialized recovery team will be waiting, ready to help them walk again after spending nearly a year in microgravity. The Boeing Starliner mission was supposed to be a breakthrough for space travel. Instead, it has turned into a cautionary tale. For NASA, the failure of Starliner raises big questions. Is Boeing's spacecraft safe enough for future missions? Can they fix these technical failures? Should NASA rely solely on SpaceX for astronaut transport? Meanwhile, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore will undergo months of medical tests to understand the long-term effects of their extended mission. Their bodies may take weeks to recover, but their journey will forever shape the future of human spaceflight. After nearly 300 days in space, the wait is almost over. March 16th will mark the end of their longest mission and a new chapter in spaceflight safety.